up on this main stage. You obviously know, if you can hear it through the speakers right now, you can hear it through the stream. LGD definitely going to be the fan favorites, and now Liquid is going to have their backs against the wall. Is the longest losers run that we've ever seen at TI going to come to an end in this game? And as we look at the draft, which is already underway, we're going to see some familiar faces, Kyle.
Yeah, indeed. And dude, you don't just hear the crowd. I'm telling you, the players on the booth, they feel it. They've got the booths have a heartbeat. As the crowd like starts to get into it, you're feeling the pulse, and it's got to be insane to be playing right now, because every time PSG LGD gets momentum, it's like you're starting to vibrate.
So I've never actually done it as a player, obviously, but I've gotten the opportunity to be up on the main stage and actually introduce teams. And I remember the first time I did it, the thing that I didn't expect was to feel my teeth shake. You could literally, when the fans started streaming, you could hear your teeth shake. That vibration that Kyle mentioned, that energy, it's definitely felt, even if you're in a noise-canceling booth.
Yeah, when it comes with the nerves, you know, when you're in a team setting, people will ask you, do you feel comfortable playing this hero? I think it's a good hero for the game, kind of thing. The draft, the captain will ask you. And what hero are you going to play for millions of dollars? That's the question going into this draft. That's why so much of the meta, so much of the like popular heroes doesn't matter once you get into these later stages of the draft. You ask a player, like, what do you feel comfortable playing in this pivotal match for your career?
We don't need to guess when it comes to FY. The man is a killer, and there's this iconic group of players, less than a handful. Everyone plays their best Dota TI, but some guys, like, they ascend somehow. That was FY's 100th game of Rubik. He just crushed. Now they early pick his Lion. It's just the best anti-carry hero in Dota. You have 2 methods of lockdown, tons of burst damage, and already PSG LGD, they have so much control in this lineup.
Now, the funny thing that I want to bring up as well with LGD, and this is something that we saw that even transcends the draft, the way that they've itemized has been spectacular.
Yes.
They've basically been able to close gaps even when they fall behind just by itemizing the right way.
Yeah, that last game, we talked about having to survive through the chrono. You just have a Centaur with a heart, you have a Spectre with a heart. They just know, in the draft, you see their game plan come to life almost when you watch the game itself.
It's damage reduction, and they had so much of it. The Fade Bolt, you had Pipe, Crimson Guard, Ags, Centaur. Gyro gets an Ag, so even if he's CC'd in the middle of the Chronosphere, he's just going to still be dealing damage. It's just an excellent way to deal with what Liquid had in the previous game. This time, they steal the support duo of Rubik ET, the Miracle Sven perhaps, but we're going to have to see him turn up a bit. Both we and Miracle got solo killed in that first game in the first 10 minutes.
I do want to go back to kind of what you were saying, because you said it so well while we were hanging out in the crowd and watching this game. When we looked at what LGD said, they said, okay, yeah, what Liquid has put together, they're going to be able to get it off consistently. So they didn't say, how do we avoid it? They said, how do we deal with it once we actually do get caught? And that's the type of thinking that we've seen from LGD so far in this tournament. It's one of the reasons they've looked like such a top dog lifestealer.
And I know we're probably, a lot of the NA groups are going to have a bit of PTSD about this hero, Arteezy. Out of the tournament, 0-2, both on this Lifestealer, but it's a completely different game. You're up against 2 supports that have absolutely nothing to deal with Rage, and in addition, it's arguably the hardest counter to Sven, because you just hit him in the face.
Yeah, and it's a reliable way to deal with combos like Sven Darkseer. Liquid coming out with this Wombo combo teamfight, something, we've seen different approaches from these teams. We've seen these like split pushy, skirmishy, kind of back and forth type lineups, and then we see these Wombo combos. If you get caught by this Darkseer vacuum into Sven stun, you're all gonna die. But I love LGD because they just understand that they think about these things. You can see in the game, their positioning, the hero picks. Lifestealer makes it so much easier to avoid these types of things happening. And it's just another Ame hero, right? It's a farming hero that's going to get his items and he's going to hit that crucial timing. And they can play around what he does for the game. Spectre being the last pick. This is the first time I've seen LGD, I think in the last like 5 or 6 games, not pick Ame's hero last.
I do want to go back to something that you just said there as well, BSJ, because I feel like it has been a huge theme of the tournament. Besides all the storylines, the idea of the young players really stepping up and the ideas of whether or not we were going to have back-to-back champions, it's constantly that question of, is this going to be a skirmish game or a Wombo combo game? And what we see right now, Kyle, how do you feel it's shaping up?
It's all about Liquid's pace. You've got 2 heroes that traditionally farm ancient stacks to recover. You can't have 2 heroes recover. That's not how Dota works nowadays. You want Darkseer shoving lanes, TA traps all over the map. Let Miracle Sven go his Midas build, get to a point where he's comfortable taking fights. A BKB is necessary if you want to engage against PSG LGD. They, of course, have the 22 last pick. Their mid hero is still available. I could see a universe where it was a core Jakiro, but Rubik, of course, one of the hardest counters. And surprisingly, they actually picked Rubik, or Jakiro into Rubik.
Yeah, and with this TA last pick, immediately comes to mind is Roche for Liquid. I'm thinking to myself, LGD,
That's a good point.
We've got pretty good contests, but we need a hero that matches the pace, because Lifestealer is most likely going to go the Midas Radiance build. He might look to mix it up this game, but the TA can threaten the Roche before that happens, so you need to be able to fight them head on with 4 heroes, and this hero needs to output the damage. And there you go, the lane counter, the last pick, Cheese Huskar, one of my favorites.
You talk about a 22 pick, all right? Like, this is
ready to slam jam, baby.
It's not even cheese anymore, right? We've seen it long enough, but this, you crush TA in the laning phase, and he needs to get ahead in this game, and it's going to be so difficult, especially the way maybe he's been performing.
Wow, okay, so for anybody who's not used to seeing a pick like this, why do we see it here?
Well, you already had good lane matchups between the Lifestealer, Darkseer. You had the Sven's probably going to be pressured by the Centaur, and now you're just looking to snowball the mid lane, and if you have all 3 lanes won, it's pretty hard to win in competitive Dota, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, and Liquid, they kind of need to win the lanes, because they aren't going to be able to recover. PSGLG, they have so many stuns. They get a bit of a lead. It's the perfect game for a Huskar, but you've just got 4 killers surrounding you, and you can leisurely choose a target however you wish.
Yeah.
Now, very quickly, I do want to ask before we get down to business in this game, Kyle, how do you view the win conditions of each of these teams?
Liquid has to be fast. They need a lead. They've got to find a way to get their lanes at least even. Ancient stacks, and more importantly, map control. They want to take towers early so that they can take away the Radiant jungle.
Now, one of the best ways to peer into how a team thinks that they are going to win is going to be talking to their coaches. And lucky for us, Casey is standing by.
All right, I want to ask you about a few of the picks that we just saw. LGD last picking Huskar. They also got Centaur again, which was a huge key to the first game. What is your reaction to that?
We kind of expected them to last pick Huskar in this game, but I feel like it can go both ways. Like, for example, Temple has some good stuff against Huskar, but Huskar also has some good stuff against Temple going. So the Centaur pick, the Centaur in the last game really performed, so I don't know. It really depends how the players will play and press buttons and everything.
Anything can happen at TI.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, back to you as we get to the game.
Well, let's get it on. Let's press some buttons. Let's have some TA versus Huskar Sind. No IOs. Completely ignored, but don't worry. You get yourself something quirky with the Huskar.
Yeah, that's the power of having the last pick, is that sometimes you can come up with something like this. But I would say lately in Dota, over the last months, Huskar, even when he has a good laning stage and has good games, this hero has trouble a lot of the time. I don't think Huskar is nearly as strong as he used to be in certain patches. I'm hearing a stun.
It's just down the bottom lane. It's Xnova saying hi and walking away.
But like RMN is pointing out, this matchup is not exactly that one-sided. It's one-sided in the early part of the laning stage, but what TA has against Huskar later is she has massive physical burst damage. One thing Huskar doesn't like to face is hard burst. He wants to take advantage of the regen. However, now that he has a disarm, he can also, you know, both disarm the Sven and the TA before they get their BKBs with that inner fire. So the matchup has become more interesting, I would say, than it used to be. But I would still say I'm expecting Somnus to absolutely win the lane, and then it's just about how hard he wins and what we have to do out of it.
I still want to keep my eyes very closely up on this top lane. Mind control. And he actually splits Liquid with the stun, but FY still gets the rune, but the burn damage from the Iron Shell and the range damage from GH is enough to get the kill, which means they'll claim the opposite bounty rune. But this is the lane which only Team Liquid is making work. A Darkseer in the off-lane, it's a huge combination, maybe not that great against Lifestealer, but Liquid, this isn't the first time they've even run this lane versus a Lifestealer. They've done this exact matchup before.
And they're running it with a Rubik, and the logic here is you just push out waves. You put Iron Shell on the creeps, you have the Fate Bolt to push an additional amount, and then after you push the wave, you can either go and stack jungle camps, or you can pull the next wave.
Oh, that's a nice Storm Bolt on bottom lane. Catching an Xnova as well as Charles. Xnova's copying a lot of damage. It's the ET. We've seen how powerful he's been throughout this competition. Xnova, how much life have you got? Kuro, he's running out that bonus damage. It's only got a 1 second left, and if you can punch into Xnova, maybe they got enough damage. Charles trying to play it around the tree lines. Xnova does actually get the kill on Kuro before his death. Charles may have actually liked that the other way around if you can get solo experience, but you'll take what you can get.
Considering the circumstances there, I think you're pretty happy with the trade as Jakiro overall. That looked like the exchange was not going to favor them, but really good play in the trees by Xnova gives them the trade-off. Mid lane? Wait, why is Rubik so... Oh yeah, he got first blood. I was like, why is he so rich? I was thinking, how many CS did he take away from the Darkseer? But yeah, now is when it gets tricky in mid. Somnus has...
Bottom lane, Miracle. He's in a little bit of trouble, going to land the Stormhammer. Once again, Kuro finding a large chunk of damage to that ET, hitting it into X-Nova. I think some Jakiro fans will be sad it's not FY on that hero, but still Kuro, my god, he just doesn't want to stop, but now he's run out of damage, and Kuro is just dragging Charles X-Nova away from the wave.
He got a bit too far ahead of himself. He has 30 seconds cooldown on TP, and LGD know this. That's a pretty big death. And what I was getting at is that in this mid lane now, this is how Huskar wants to play. He wants to stabilize the lane, get it on top of his own hill, and just deny. He lost control a little bit though, so there will be some experience coming the way of Weehaw, but maybe it's on purpose.
But Weed's over in the jungle. He's not even near that mid lane, so he's going to miss out. And that's quite a big miss when you miss out on 2 range creeps.
Absolutely. I think Somnus identified that Weehaw is playing, well, obviously he's playing jungle, he isn't in the lane, but maybe took a chance on how far Weehaw would be away and pushing it up just at that time. It's a really big loss for Wee.
Mind Control continues to contest this top lane. FY doing the best he can to pull. Looking for the denials against Mind Control. As GH made his move in towards mid lane. That is one person who can stand back in this lane.
Right. They can put the Rubik here, and he can just take some CS with Fate Bolt every wave, and Darkseer can get what he can top, but without help up here, once FY hits level 3, there's actually kill potential. So all you can do as Darkseer at that point is cut waves, and you see FY blocking up the big camp, nicely done. Mind Control will be forced to play in the lane into Ame, and that's where Lion can come in with those 2 long duration lockdowns and maybe set up a potential kill later on. And he's just going to be pulling. Mind Control might even retreat to the jungle at some point, because this feels kind of like a checkmate situation top. You can't pull, you can't stack, and you can't cut the wave.
Yeah, and so, if you just Iron Shell the wave, Ame will farm it underneath the tower. Yeah. So even that push doesn't help you.
Yeah, he used 2 shells on a wave that isn't even going to touch a creep. That feels really bad. And this is because FY has pulled the small camp. Mind Control was hoping that these 2 Iron Shells would get him 2 or 3 CS. But instead he gets pretty much absolutely nothing. He'll get a little bit of experience from this creep wave coming his way. Yeah. But he's out of resources.
He needs that. He needs the Soul Ring.
Yeah, he's currently hovering both bottle and Soul Ring. I'm guessing he will go the Soul Ring route.
He can play the bottom from the side, Miracle. That's a lot of damage from the dual breath, making him just think twice about moving closer towards Charles.
Kuro has a south from him.
He does. Kuro's also got a decent amount of damage. But the movement off, Jakira's moving towards the bottom lane, looking for a rune. He's found a haste rune. Probably going to have a bit of a peek over and see what Weeha's up to.
Yep. Exactly.
As Weeha does not want to lose that big Dark Troll. X-Nova's watching him for it. Like, all right, do you want to attack him? All right, you ready? Yeah. Got him.
We got it.
And now, X-Nova. He hung around a little too long. GH has a pickup. Has Fate Bolt available if he has to consume up the Mango. Weehaw doesn't have a slow to work with, but X-Nova. And he got the dual breath off, so Weehaw doesn't have the movement speed. X-Nova's going to come towards the tower, and Weehaw, he's really chasing for this kill. This will be his first for the game. And Weehaw even gives him a tip. It's like, thank you for making me work for it. Oh, nice stomp. Spirit's down as well. Charles, well, he's not going to be able to get the rune from this. And what's Kuro really got? Miracle. It's a lot of damage. They will cry up. X-Nova now arrives. It's 3 heroes with that dual breath. And Liquid feels like they have to back off, and rightly so.
He has the surge, so the Hex will not counter him off here, and he will get away. And he got a rune up here, so Liquid got 3 for 1. And that kill for TA. That's pretty good overall for them.
He's just banking. He's got 1,300 gold on this Darkseer for the moment.
He's gonna buy Soul Ring and a Ring Guard.
Okay. Meanwhile, there's also mass observers and sentries coming out in that courier. But how do you feel like the timing is going at the moment? Kuro. Let's not talk about timing. So Kuro needs to run for his life in the trees. This won't be the first time he's died running away from both Jakiro as well as Centaur. It may not be the last. So how are you actually liking the timings? Like, you had 3 kills on the board, golden experience. It's a little bit the way of LGD, but no one has a clear outcome. Who does this really work well for?
It's working out well for LGD, but this is how I feel like every Huskar game is. It's like, have a good start, but if you have 1 or 2 bad fights, the hero just falls off really hard, in my opinion, in most games. So
But he used to be known as the guy who needed like the Aegis, right, to actually stand in the fight. So is Roshan something they look towards, or is there other ways to ensure the fight?
They will absolutely want to get Roche later on. You also usually, historically, have played Huskar with some sort of save so that you can keep him alive and make sure that regen kicks in. Classic combos of both Oracle and Dazzle, but there's not a single save on LGD in this game, so if you go in and commit as Huskar, you're not really getting out again outside of a Stampede.
Fire control's totally fine. He actually left the double iron shells up there, so he was getting experience in farm. They weren't really ready for the second one to come from the trees.
LGD are pressuring Miracle really hard. It's actually so far away from the Midas. Lifesteal is having a much better time than him. 400 gold ahead currently. And we also have to remember that Kuro has kind of sacrificed his game more than the supports of LGD have as well. Chalice level 6. And they're just not letting Miracle breathe. Every time he goes for a creep, they cast all their spells on him. And he's so low now that he's probably going to have to go to Shrine Up.
10-stick charge
already been used, so he can't even do that. He's playing down here with low health and a pack of tangos.
Not a lot to fight with. As you said, like, okay, so Kuro sacrifices himself, but you are getting a lot out of GH because you've put Weehar into the jungle. He's taking all of these stacks.
Yes.
He's only 500 net worth behind the Huskar, and keep in mind, these aren't lane creeps. These are jungle creeps. They're not even ancients. Now FY comes a little closer. He's underneath the TA trap. He'll trigger. GH has to get the telekinesis if they're going to get this kill. He actually goes for the attack. He doesn't go for the instant grab.
They're worried. They think there's more heroes here? Or... I'm not completely sure what he was scared of there. Maybe he must have thought there was some sort of backup coming, and they backed off.
I can tell you it wasn't Huskar, but maybe now he'll come. There's a double damage rune, so Somnus can have a bit of a peek over and see what Weehar's up to.
He's got a TP.
Yeah, they're looking for a bigger kill. Kuro gonna drop as well. Miracle's coming over with a Stormhammer as Kuro will put Chalice to sleep, but that double damage Somnus. Miracle doesn't see him. If he runs up this lane, he's totally dead. He has to get back behind the T1 tower right now. I think Kuro might have got a glimpse of him. And yep, they definitely see him now. Kuro cannot have enough time to get the stomp off, and Miracle to the trees and the TP. They stampede. LGD chasing Miracle down. He needs to open a Stormhammer too, and then begin the TP out to safety. Is there a stun? There is not! Miracle! The Burning Spears will not be enough damage to kill him.
Now Xnova is going to skill Ice Path. Yep. You just know it. It's like, oh man, if only I had Ice Path.
1 point. I just need a 1 point.
Yeah.
I think you were short the mana too.
I had stick charge. It would have been enough, but yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for him to. Oh,
GH instantly jumps. He's able to steal life break and then try and turn the damage back over, but that won't happen. Uncertain what he was looking to achieve in this bottom lane. Kuro as well as Miracle were a long way off.
And I think this is the first game on Jakiro that I've seen from Xnova that he doesn't skill Ice Path before level 5, but he just needed the attack speed slows in the lane against Kuro, so he maxed those two out first. And against Miracle, Dual Breath and Liquid Fire just amazing against this dual lane in particular.
And when do we see Weehar have an influence? Huskar rotates, and with the help of Centaur, they take a tier 1 tower instantly. Like, Weehar's been spending all this time in the jungle. He's building into the Desolator. There has to be a purpose here. There has to be an enabler.
Well, you're playing Sven and TA, and you lost your lanes, so you can't really do very much right now.
So when you look, so you just recover until fight?
Yep. There are just very few plays available on the map. If you look at, you have to try to play catch-up, right? But it's not easy. Now you lost 4 bounty runes because your heroes can't really fight. And it's a strategic problem for Liquid in this game, absolutely. I would love to see them make moves, but which move would you suggest? They have Darkseer to play around with Ion Chill. He can try to fight with Miracle, but Miracle lost his lane pretty hard. And
Miracle may die. The smoke maneuver from LGD. They get your life break forward. Miracle gets a quick stun out. Xnova. Hey, Ice Path's up and running. GH will end up stealing that. Maybe create space. No, the Dual Breath. It came out, so he can't create any level of space. And just back up and accept the fact that he's dead. 10.5 minute Midas is also completed on Arme for his first usage. So the money for the cause, the 1 positions, really starting to separate heavily. 3.2k to the 4.8k.
Liquid just needs to keep pushing lanes. I think Miracle has to accept that he has to jungle, and you can either put the Darkseer, maybe put Darkseer bottom and Sven top, but because Lifesteal is so far ahead, I think he's also going to struggle up there. So he's kind of limited on where to go. They need to just push waves out, try to get 1 or 2 key items. I think what you want to get is you want to get the TA Deso, and you want to get maybe 1 item on Sven, but he's going Midas, so that's also going to take forever. It's just, there's not the best pairings for Darkseer early game. You know, Liquid have played it with the Ember, they played it with the Alchemist. Sven is a slower version where you need levels in vacuum, and you ideally want to.
Here we go. Ame walks straight in to pick him up, throw him down. They got the damage output. Yes, they do. Dead for 30 seconds without buyback available. And this will be an opportunity. They push the lanes, maybe even take a tier 1. Chalice will arrive.
That was the best possible play on the map. That's where they use the Dark.
Oh, they're going in. Wait. Chalice is coming back closer. He's trying to play around with them. There's still Iron Shell burn damage, but Chalice is drawing the attention away. Meanwhile, X-Nova thinks about his rotation, but so does Kuro. Everyone looks so glowy. Chalice, open wound, stolen by GH. Here's the Storm Bolt out. Chalice, what does he want to do? Miracle staying with him. The Stormhammer's already been committed. And with the extra support arriving from LGD, 4 heroes come to the top lane. The Kuro Spirit, it comes in, and the Stampede comes forward. And what have you got stolen? It's only the double-edge stolen. That's not exactly what GH wanted. But X-Nova hits with the Ice Path. Miracle doesn't have the movement speed anymore, and the Spirit's being pulled back in again. You do have ET Splitter, and Surge is coming off cooldown. So a lot of commitment from LGD, and all you got was the Rubik. I
love that detail from Chalice, though. I agree, it wasn't the best of a fight. They only got the Rubik kill, but he stampedes and instantly double edges a creep next to him to make sure he knew GH was waiting for that stampede to try to steal it. But he was just faster on the fingers there with getting the double edge off. Secures them that kill. Liquid, however, they will be putting pressure on the mid tower, and defense has to come in now. It's coming in through X-Nova with the Macropyre. Should be able to hold this. He might need help from +1, and that's coming right now. Centaur will join. No Stampede, though. Weehaw really wants to finish this, but because he's overstayed his welcome, Chalice pounces with X-Nova. They put him down. FY doesn't have the mana for a finger, but now he does! Goodbye, Templar Assassin. LGD go from taking the tier 1 tower on top, now bearing down on the tier 1 tower in mid. That was surprising that LGD stayed for that. Ichi Gaming? Nope, they're not in the tournament anymore. LGD actually... Liquid just kept going there with the Centaur taking in and Jakiro in position, and they were only the TA and the Sven. These two heroes right now, they are not a threat. The threat in this game is Darkseer. He's the one enabling the Sven plays. He's the one that gave them this top kill in the tower. If you're without your Darkseer and you try to go into Centaur, there's no way that's going to work. If the Desolator was done, it might have been a very different scenario, but... we have barely got to attack. I think he would have died anyway. So a bit of a blunder, and this gives LGD an even bigger lead now to 4k gold. Keeping the ramp up. Ame is not going Radiance. He's Armlet completed in about 100 gold, so that's another big power spike for them. But I love this from nice GH. Power kill. With the Ice Path, they can keep Chalice away from it, so we can't deny it. This is, in my opinion, this is one of the absolute best spells to steal in the whole game. Like, not in this game, but in Dota in general. Ice Path on Rubik is insane. You have no cast time. You have the longer debuff amplification with the Arcane Supremacy once you start skilling that up. And GH, if Liquid are going to win this game, look for that spell in fights. You can get it. They messed up the smoke a little bit, but Chalice is going to come out anyway. They saw him move inside the pit. He'll move a little bit further north. Templar Assassin wants to fight. He has the double damage through, but what are you going to do? Go into Roshan? They have to bait the fight. GH wasn't caught inside the smoke. That's why they feel a little bit less confident about this. Ice Path doesn't catch Chalice. It feels like Liquid are just like, they're throwing their fishing rod out there. Forgetting to hold onto the handle, however. Nothing's biting. Oh. No jump forward from Weehaw, even with the surge up. 3-for-1 rune, LGD. The Huskar who's not involved. Something you don't normally think you'd say 15 minutes into a game. Normally it's Huskar who's the one jumping forward. So almost has 2 kills to his name, but he's building into the BKB first before it looks like he wants to fight. That will be a crazy timing for LGD, because if he has BKB before the TA and the Sven does, he can just jump in with 0 risk. He can always just use the disarm if he's in trouble. Stampede, they're coming forward. GH picks him up. He's probably able to steal Stampede, but as you said, he doesn't want it. He wants Ice Path instead. As Chalice walks away underneath the ET Spirit. I don't want it. Yep. Indeed, I mean, even though there's only 1 minute left on Ice Path, you see the prioritization there from GH. He thinks it's all. There needs to be help for Miracle. Ice Path finger. Once again, Liquid, they just have one player who's a little bit over into LGD's territory. They were not ready at all for that play to come in from LGD. Another Ice Path will connect. Connects over on, and then you get 2 back from GH.
So you can lower a little bit of the damage of Chalice, but Somnus has joined the fight. Denial of the tower there from GH.
Nicely done. LGD, it's a little bit of a thorn in their side this Rubik in this game, getting that deny as well, but I think they're still feeling pretty good about their chances. All of their cores are having a great game. Lion also having an outstanding game. Even the Jakiro, X-Nova, who we generally see be really poor, when he's playing this Jakiro, you just get that extra farm that you don't see on other fives. He's up to 31 CS, very high for him 16 minutes in. Has that extra 1k gold over Kuro. And that can either be converted into a core item like a Force Staff that he's building right now, or it can just give him superiority in terms of the sentry game.
So much confidence from LGD when you switch into Halberd for Somnus. No BKB protection required. They feel confident.
But there's a big timing coming up for Liquid at least. The Templar Assassin is getting Dagger after these two camps in the jungle. Sven's close to Echo Saber, Darkseer's close to Mech. When all of these items align, Liquid will try to take a fight, I think, because you can't just keep playing the map like this. You will get caught off once in a while, and it's too expensive. You need to fight for the Roshan and not let LGD take that on the Huskar. They might be playing kind of a game of chicken, like around this Roshan pit. Who wants to try to go for it first and then you counterplay?
It's gonna wait inside the pit. Chalice coming in there to try and get rid of the TA traps. They have a sentry ward nicely in the middle, but it's funny because that Radiant sentry ward is in range of the dire obs, but they can't cross the river.
Yeah.
Hey, that's where 2 of those deaths from Team Liquid happened.
I'm not even sure they know there's a ward there. Have they had vision there for a while? It's nighttime.
They haven't walked close enough to it since they put the sentry down.
Their ops doesn't see it though. Liquid don't know, right?
I don't believe so, no. If they did, GH would have gone for that money a long time ago.
Well, it can be dangerous to go and deward this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
like, I'll steal the regeneration rune. He's keeping his distance. Aether lens first from the Rubik. It's the same for the Lion. They both want to be these great players from the back lines. But it always feels like FY is ending up everything. He comes again with the Hex and the stun. That refraction won't protect him. X-Nova, the perfect chain stun with the Ice Path, and Weehaw, refraction, meld, still sits and burns.
That Aether lens on Lion. Weehaw was trying to play around the possibility of getting jumped from the side. He probably had his finger on the dagger in case of an Ice Path or in case of Lion walking into Hexen, but that lens, extra range, FY gets him from the trees.
LGD's going in.
And that's go time, yep. No TA for 25.
GH is trying to reach the Jakiro, but it feels like X-Nova is playing just close enough but far enough away.
Sven has a full halberd. Sven can't even fight into him unless they get a perfect combo.
Here comes the ET Spirit, GH. What's he got? Stampede forward. He only got Mad Ray now, the Lion. Not what he was searching for, the Ice Path. Not in the best position, but with a finger of death, it won't matter. Rubik can buy back into the game. Roshan down at 3.2k. TA's up in 2 seconds time with that Blink Dagger. It's quite possible to contest Roshan. But do they have enough with the surging forward of the Darkseer? No, it's just Arme. He's creating space, allowing him to go in for Roshan, but Huskar hasn't finished the job. Roshan's coming out the pit. He can't be attacked there. They jump in the double stun with a clean damage. They've already gone through 2. Santor and Jakiro will fall. Miracle wants to finish Roshan with that God's Ray. Something tries to push him back. Aegis Immortal is in the hands of Miracle, just like game 1. But this time around, LGD may not be able to get out of the pit. They create some copies. Challenge comes in close. A great double hop stop. More space being created by Kuro. He brings in a lot of damage himself with the Stormbolt. They're able to just keep Chalice in position. Huskar's already down. TA refusing to fight back. Kuro trying to run back out this one. Miracle back to life, face the Aegis Immortal. And that's going to be what's that, the best case scenario for Team Liquid?
Yeah, I would still call that a victory. Oh, there's a Hex, but he got the rune already, FY. He's going to back off.
Is it just because you don't have the Aegis on the Huskar?
Yeah, you're pretty happy with that. Like, the whole sequence leading up to this, with the kills, with TA dying, with then GH dying and having to buy back.
There's 2 buybacks as well from the Centaur and the Jakiro.
Yep, you got a core buyback out of LGD and you got the Aegis. You also got the Roach kill, right? It wasn't the steal.
It was Roshan killed, yep, by Radiant.
So, all things considered for Liquid, that's not that bad.
Oh, Darkseer, once again, this Aether Lens of FY comes into work. 8-1 charges are available. Darkseer able to get the surge, mind control, getting some distance. And now they try and turn around in for the stop. Arme, he committed the rage, and Miracle will come in with the Iron Shell. They'll get these great step chain stuns. FY, he's going to split the fight once again, but Arme, he's armlet toggling his way to safety. Weehaw needs to chase him down. There's your burst damage. Arme still continues to toggle, and the inmet into the catapult. Liquid, they really want Arme, but they may have to settle for FY. He still worked quite a lot, however. But it's not what you came for.
It's a kill nonetheless, and you have to remember that whole sequence started because they tried to go on mind control. So when you consider mind control survived and they got a counter kill, it's pretty decent. But at the same time, LGD, of course, they weren't there with their whole squad. It was just 2 heroes pulling, 3 or 4 heroes. I don't remember even how many Liquid had there, but it took them really long and they started rotating around. Huskar and Centaur in the meantime, completely free farming and keeping up, building up these items. And we should remember, Somnus, by buying this halberd that he did in the last fight, didn't have BKB. It's going to be his next item. And when he hits this timing and gets an Aegis, things get really scary. So the next big objective of the game again is going to be Roche, but it doesn't spawn until in 6 minutes, so there'll be a lot of items on the field.
I'd say we have some time, but LGD smirk up. They're coming for a hunt. No Blink Dagger just yet over on Charles, so there's still no jump ability from LGD. Something we haven't actually seen at all. Defensive invest, sure. Aggressive, not yet. Mind Control's going to surge himself straight in the middle of him and walks away with the stun. The range is too good from FY, hits the finger of death. The damage on the Mind Control. He doesn't have time to stop being a fish. Get that mech as well as 1 charge off. And now the Blink Dagger is here from the Centaur. Arme, do you want to hitch a ride? Charles is a good driver.
I don't think there's any reason to do anything right now except get this bottom tower. Want to start? I don't think you go high ground here for LGD. That would be pretty dangerous. I think you absolutely wait for an Aegis before you think about going that route. So they're going to spread around the map again, maybe get an aggressive ward out in the enemy triangle if they can get over there. Somewhere in that area would be nice, but maybe they'll catch Miracle.
And TP come towards the top lane under the dire Ops and Sentry. They feel very, very comfortable, but you do have FY, maybe in no man's land. As it is daytime, they see FY quite clearly, put him to sleep, and then jump. A chance coming in. He's got a surprise. Package delivery for Team Liquid. Will you receive? They will. Miracle. The damage is so huge, but then he turns around with his own cleave damage. Try and bring down the Centaur with the Dark Steel Wall, the Ice Bar, X Nova. Everyone just stops and looks at each other, frozen to the bone. But now Huskar jumps forward over towards Kuro, looking for his own fight. But GH, he's killed off Chalice. They want the other one. They want Life Stealer. The Storm Arme on almost no life now turns to Weeha. Weeha, he doesn't have the sustain. He's disarmed. He can't attack. Down for a minute. Miracle still able to clean up the supports. Both down for LGD. Arme and Somnus running away from themselves. And Team Liquid finding that big combination. It feels like it's starting to work from Team Liquid. That back into a big Stormhammer, into heavy damage, even when Miracle doesn't have the heavy damage. He's just an Echo Saber and Midas.
Yeah, but the big items are coming out from Liquid too. They're close to BKBs on both TA and Sven.
Blink GH too.
Those are truly game-changing items because that's something Huskar is just not very good against. Once BKBs are popped, his efficiency drops.
The sustain's getting through the roof too. Darkseer, Mind Control. And he just keeps, he plays this, the old Aura kind of style. Vlad's is done, the mech's available, GH on the Rubik. We already saw how amazing FY was in game 1. With this Blink Dagger, he's now being even more enabled. And we see this whole fight, the disarm just wrecking apart.
The Surge is also extremely important to keep in mind against the Lifestealer in these fights. Whoever Lifestealer goes on gets surged away until he has either a Nullifier or the hero is stunned by Lion or the Centaur. So in that fight, Miracle ended up kiting Lifestealer for a good 5 to 10 seconds behind the tree line. Just couldn't get on top of him properly. That's what Lifestealer wants. This hero hates playing against Surge. He hates playing against Force Staffs.
And that's exactly what's in the group buy.
Yep.
Need a little bit more time for TA to finish that BKB. Actually, with the range creeps up on top, she is... Well, with this creep wave, we'll now have the money. So BKB for Sven, BKB for TA, and now also BKB for Huskar. So hey, everyone gets a BKB. Look under your chair.
And Lifestealer has one, by default.
And he's going to get a second one as well. Through Rage as well as item.
Yep. Not fully convinced that that's the right choice in this game for Ame to do. I get what the idea is, that these fights are going to be long and you want to be able to do something outside of Rage and Sustain, but the trade-off is that you lose a lot of damage that you could have had by going an AC route or a Nullifier for the Infest jump out of Centaur to kill up, like blow up pretty much anybody that you could find. That is what you're trading off here. But he is committed already with the Mithril Hammer. He's not going to commit to anything else.
TA was in range of the Observer and Sentry Ward when the smoke happened. It was very, very late on the smoke. LGD aware, they even hit the scan. And that smoke maneuver from Team Liquid. TA Trap trying to scout out the Centaur in the trees. He'll come down and kill it. It's like, well, if you want me, come at me, bro. The TA trap will trigger again, a quick blink away. But he's still sitting behind the tower, and the rest of LGD smoked up, moving in. The Stormhammer is already over with a crisscrossing of the ice pass. Somnus will jump forward. Miracle, he needs protection. Having the damage against Somnus and the pickup. They catch out the Jakiro. The ice pass will be removed by Weeha. Mel striking down next Nova. Armane's going to walk up the hill to put that BKB to use while the initiation. The hold from Towers and the double stun. The backwall combo won't hit enough. In fact, the disarm on TA. She has to run away. The BKB cannot protect her.
The last attack from a Lion is going to kill her. She would actually survive if not for that one attack.
He doesn't even have the plus 90 damage.
Was surged up, was BKB'd, was running away, had dagger soon, was BKB'd twice apparently.
You can't.
Man, what a
bang.
spell combo from LGD there. The original jump when they force out the Sven BKB and reset, Liquid feel good about themselves and feel like they can play around 2 with the Huskar BKB going on cooldown. But they reconnect, and that jump was just excellent from Chalice. The jump on his own shrine, getting the information from the Observer Ward earlier.
So now LGD try and take control of the North. Anything that helps understand where Team Liquid's coming at them, even an infested Centaur. Not just control, if they're able to kill right now, Roshan will be in 15 seconds.
Spawning super fast. This is almost minimum spawn time. I believe the clock just ticked over, so this is a very fast Roshan spawn. Liquid will know they have a trap in the pit, so they will know it first.
Miracle can't even join this. His TP's on cooldown for another 17 seconds. He's pushing the bottom lane. And LGD, they're hovering around this tier 2 tower on the top. GH is pressuring the mid. So Liquid just trying to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, they're not defending this top tower. But they might find a double damage for the Sven. That could be really big if there ends up being a fight. He's not looking there, though.
No, it's a dire Observer Ward. Actually, no, it's a little... No, it sees. And it sees Weeha as well, planting more and more traps
Weeha
around.
sees it now. He's going to walk into this DD. Liquid might want to fight with it. See if they take it on either of these two.
Who wants it?
Nobody yet. Is there a bottle coming?
There's a Rubik coming. That's all. You ain't giving it to him. So Roshan's up, but with Liquid having the trap, the second LGD begin it. Liquid will know. And they're going to smoke up the double damage room. But of course, again, the Observer Ward is just... How many times must Liquid smoke underneath this? And look what LGD do. It's like, oh, we'll sit underneath our Observer and Sentry. You take our side of the map and we'll take yours. Dire, well, the Courier will get sniped as it moves over the top of the Templar Assassin, revealing the fact there is the DD, but the Observer and Sentry. Someone needs to drop something right now. They dropped 2, well, yeah, Observer Sentry down, but that actually got scouted out by the other ops here. Sent off, hooked up, Chalice! He blindly went into the trees. They thought he was in there. He was for a moment. Now the pick up and throw down. It looks like Liquid are uncertain if they really want to have this fight. Weeha hits the backlines, looking for X-Nova as well as FY. He's able to actually keep them controlled and actually get the kill on FY. Thanks to the stop, Jakiro is actually asleep in the trees. Miracle's trying to come through. The TA trap will get the reveal. X-Nova, Miracle actually dodging at least the ice path, but the finger from FY will bring down Sven. Kuro needs to go back into the top. Arme's protected by the rage, so he's fine. Quick buyback from FY. They still don't know that Roshan's up. TA set up a couple of extra traps in there.
And that was a good play from Weeha, that fight. He jumps in and forces the supports away and gets a kill on one of them, forcing out the buyback from FY. This is what TA needs to do in this game. Jump in and kill the Lion, if possible.
Got rid of the ult.
though,
Somnus
gets out, just barely.
Defensive refractions available. Chalice. Look at Arme. It's like, yeah, this ain't happening. Back to farm, boys. Remember Roshan. Remember the bounty rune that you walked past. Go back and get it. There's still another 2 on the bottom lane. But everyone's eyes are on Roshan.
Well, for now, Huskar will grab the bottom 2 runes. Closing in on an AC.
Love of this from GH. He's managed to steal a level 2 Finger of Death. So there's a little bit of extra burst damage that Liquid has to work with.
That's a lot of damage. That's not a little bit.
Spell amplification of 26%. You'll take it. Probably should also take that Sentry Ward while you've got the Spirit up there, but he's feeling a little cautious. Everyone's backing up. I'm not seeing a smoke right now on Liquid. The Radiant are scanning, and it does ping. It's Arme just farming up the Ancients. The TA traps are gone from Roshan, so the sentry ward planted down by X-Nova. In fact, 3 of them in a triangle watching anything around the river area.
They have pretty good control here right now. With the Solar Crest on Centaur, they also kill Roche relatively quickly with the Huskar. So Liquid should be feeling a bit of urgency of staying up here and getting up here in the first place, and they will connect, but obviously Huskar, in the meantime, pushing out and farming bottom, taking advantage of Liquid having to regain this area.
As long as Kuro can stay in range, you can at least keep checking Roshan, like sending the Spirit out. You can put down extra TA traps. Even if you do want, like, you see the TA trap in there, you have to enter the pit to get rid of it. And this is just great information, but you're putting him up on the hillside for the moment. As it becomes a 5v4 standoff in the front of Roshan. Huskar, as you mentioned, the only one not there. He's trying to finish the Assault Cuirass as quick as possible. While a heart is the choice from Arme. Attempting to become the immortal. Chalice this time around not caring about magical damage. He'll jump in. You'll see the TA trap. This is what we're talking about. Uncertain if he really wants it. GH gets the pick up and the back trap. Pull Chalice as far over to the Radiant side of the river as possible. The only thing you were missing was the ability to turn him around and force-star him over.
If they had a stun to connect with there, maybe they could have tried to go for a burst with the finger, but didn't get the opportunity. Sven was too far away for a Stormhammer.
And you need 25 on TA to get that meld dash.
Yep. He's getting there.
He is.
Level 21.
So is Sven. Like, what happens once he hits that plus 40 God Strength?
Then he gets 40 Strength.
That's a fact. Can't debate.
Man, this is so tense, right? Like, you can imagine what it's like playing for both of these teams right now with the limited vision that you have with the importance of Roshan.
Oh, that's close, Arme.
He's got a heart, though.
There's your blink up. GH starting with the Meld Strike.
Oh, that's
put the heart to the
Liquid.
test. The Ice Path off point, and the BKB, the 8-second one burnt from Weeha.
They wanted to try to force something there onto the Lifestealer, but he got the heart, got instant force staff, and now there's no TA BKB in this fight. That's really, really bad news for Liquid.
And LGD's loving it. Baited into it. Miracle. As the Iron Shell's ready to go, you will need that jump from Mind Control. They back! Pulling Chalice up the hill! Not willingly dying! The EG splitter going through Roshan, and look at him go quickly. Centaur has 5-back available. Someone jumps forward, instantly down to half-life. But he's looking for 2 of them. Through Roshan. Hiding inside the pit is Arme. The Spirit continues to cause problems for LGD. And a huge buyback on the Centaur, but a double damage rune for Lifestealer. The 34-minute rune. They'll create a copy thanks to this Dark Seal Wall. Another EG Spirit. Move in. Range is available. Arme's not going to use it. He'll go to sleep. And break free instantly. Nobody wants to take the risk of really committing to Roshan.
If Liquid come back in this game, that vacuum is what started it all. That's such a huge kill. 3k gold swing, they force a buyback out on Centaur, and there is the risk of Chalice dying again.
Here comes LGD. The Infest is inside the Centaur. Chalice will be the sacrificial one. Rubik is just waiting on the edge. GH has Blink Dagger available, and Miracle, well, already hit. Somnus attacked over on the side. Centaur, you got a quick steal. What's going to be Ice Path? No, it's going to be Dual Breath only. LGD so pressured around Roshan. Even Roshan fighting against him. The Clamp is like, would you mind not fighting on my doorstep? Get off my lawn. The Stomp, it won't connect properly. Macropyre is down. Roshan, 1.5k. If Liquid are going to jump, they've got to jump down. The TF track is the information. Stomp has actually got the Aegis, the Immortal. The back, pull him away, but GH, here's your grab. They get the stun. LGD, Aegis and Cheese both being gained. The Cheese is on the Lifestealer, Aegis on the Huskar. Now they have a Soul Cuirass and a ticket to push down the lane. They will look for this Tier 3 tower and Tier 2 tower in mid. And what does Liquid have to defend with? They have Miracle too far out under the Tier 2 tower. He'll turn for the stun onto the Lifestealer. But remember, he's got the heart. Army doesn't care about taking damage. He even gave the Cheese over to the Centaur.
They push so fast. They have 2 siege creeps here as well.
Yep, up they come on the Tier 3. Rubik still doesn't want to buy back. Mind Control creates a couple of copies. Turn Arme and Somnus against his own team. Miracle looking to turn on the sound as here comes LGD through the mid. Rage has already been burned. Templar Assassin's not joining this fight. Weeha's on bottom lane, still trying to push a Tier 1 tower. The back, once again, Mind Control He pulls up Lifesteal in the ground from G8. They want to hold him there with the BKB till bell from Arme. While he's got the range down, Saunders stands his own ground. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. Will it burst? He's firing up the way. They give him the life.
The only big spell committed here is the God Strain.
Weeha's waiting. Too close. The Sentry Ward was planted down. They saw his Melt Trap instantly disarmed, so Weeha couldn't attack.
God Strength is now on cooldown for a full minute. LGD, they might want to press the issue, knowing that this is off the table for Liquid. It's a big part of their damage. It's what makes the vacuum combo so strong.
They're backing off for the moment.
Yep.
Fresh items. Vlad's for the Centaur coming out. You do have a finished Solar Crest. Mind Control managed to get the Courier up and around LGD in order to get that back into his hands. LGD have the time. They have the Aegis, they have the cheese, but they also have this insane life stealer to be the front liner. Miracle is waiting up the hill. Surge him to get him away. They start the damage over into Somnus. As you said, without the God Strength, they have to work a little bit harder to get this early damage in. Somnus stands his ground, pushes him back. There's another disarm. Arme, they take the tier 3 tower. Somnus is low. Arme's close. The Mel Strike will also connect. Low on armor, but Somnus still stands his ground. There goes your melee rack. You see just how ineffective Liquid are until they pull him back with the back. Under a bell. Holy shit! Chalice! He gets the jump with the follow-on ice path! Liquid totally caught out! Somnus is low, but he's still got the Aegis! They haven't burned through it! The BKB protects the 4-star! FY! He just grabs Somnus, pulls him away! I got your back! And here we go! A reinsert! The Stormbolt! The 3-man stop with the ET splitter! Miracle needs to hit! And now he can do so! 2 heroes down! Sentinel dead for a long time, but Arme will still stand his ground! He doesn't have the Aegis Immortal, but that's why you got it from Somnus! He'll come back to life again, and Weeha, where's your extra damage? Now he buys back the Mel Strike. How much life have they got? Double 4-star. The support from LGD working so well for Team Liquid. They need to hunt a little bit more. Somnus pushes them away. They have the damage from range. LGD, you do take the mid lane of Rax. The buybacks are heavy, and when I say heavy, I mean heavy. 4 heroes fought back. Only Darkseer avoided it. But Liquid sort of hold.
They need to get something big in return here. If you can force buybacks out the other way, the game is still blown wide open. Was the cheese used in this fight? No, it's still on Centaur. Centaur never got it off. That could have made such a big difference. They get a buyback out of Xnova. It's not the best, but it's something at least. And Liquid, they will not pursue high ground. They're worried about getting caught without their buybacks, and the game just ends. So they're going to settle for bottom tier 1, mid tier 2.
And someone will need to farm up that bottom lane. There's a lot of money down there, but my God, Mind Control. How does he make this hero work time and time again? He's able to reach with these backs and pull LGD into positions they don't want to be. The plus 75 vacuum AoE here also obviously assists, but always getting that one hit, just Chalice maybe a little bit too far forward. Beautiful. The Demon Head just coming towards Miracle.
Yeah, he's going to go MKB. It's the right item in this game for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's a Halberd on the Huskar, so he has evasion. The Lifestealer has evasion talent. And then Lifestealer is also going Butterfly, which Miracle doesn't know for sure yet. He's only seen the Quarterstaff, which could turn into a Bloodthorn. But it is a butter that Ame's thinking about.
I love this from LGD. They 4-man smoke up before you get the Huskar up, but Huskar TP's out and then goes underneath an Observer Ward. Oh my God, that's hacked. All right, cool.
Yeah, FY is pretty farmed.
Yeah.
It's the same net worth as the enemy Darkseer.
Uh-huh.
Darkseer, okay? Man has the same net worth as Darkseer. Minute 40. A hero that has twice his CS.
And now, if Liquid group up without that immunity, they're going to get hit pretty damn hard. A level 3 finger with the +5 buffs.
Lifesteal level 25. Sven level 25 takes the God Strength. Lifesteal taking the Rage duration. No surprises there for either.
So that's now going to be, 26 seconds worth of immunity for Arme. Beating into the tier 3 tower. Team Liquid still wondering where this fight's going to come from. Arme just doing it all himself. Sven doesn't want to fight, not until they get the combination.
Yeah, he needs the... Oh, he does have the MKB. Okay.
Now you get the meld hit bash as well from Weeha, so they get a little bit more control. But without the buybacks available, Darkseid is the only one who has it. That's why they just buy up their items as quickly as they possibly can.
But once this wall runs out, that's a big tool gone for this defense for Liquid.
It's going to be a huge stun. But to catch Lifestealer without both of his immunities, it's unlikely. But LGD, they're giving respect to Team Liquid. They're not just going to barge their way up. Not yet.
There's another butterfly being purchased. This one is for Weeha's TA. Also level 25, as we mentioned, with the melted bash. So has overtaken Somnus by a level. By the way, Somnus' level 25 is important in this game. The pure damage burning spears could be a big difference maker. I'm assuming he will take that and not the attack range, but you never know. Attack range is also really strong. It's a lot of range, 175.
Yeah, keep your distance from that combination of Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Liquid are coming out, just try and force the lane and give just that little bit of extra farm to Weeha. They're still trying to wait out the 3.5 minutes. That's how long their buybacks are left on cooldown. And fighting inside the pace feels like the best opportunity. I don't think GH has the steal he wants either. Open wounds. They might be able to increase their sustain if they can just get... Oh, Centaur caught out by that. Maybe the easiest one. First sentries to be planted. Here comes LGD once more.
They are very well set up if he walks up on the high ground here. Milk bash.
Oh, pick him up, throw him down, connect with the stuns, and the back up. Lifestealer instantly explodes, and now Team Liquid. G8, what's he able to steal? It's going to be the Ice Path. Buyback came in so quickly from the Lifestealer, but God's Strength has been burned.
God's Strength and Wall, but they and BKB on TA. But this Lifestealer is not out of the woods yet. He could still get killed. Maybe they absolutely need the God Strength. They probably do. That was kind of everything from Liquid used. The second life should be easier. He could even infest into the Centaur if he wants to play it really safe.
Send the clone out. F1 can get rid of that quickly. The ET stomp maybe a little too early from Kuro. Doesn't slow down the wave, but pick up Somnus. Throw him away into the wall, and then the follow-up Ice Path fortification has to be used to try and dissuade our main. As he did burn the rage, but Somnus has the cheese. He's quite happy to stand the front lines as long as they can't chain stun him. Here's your Ice Pass to begin, and you got Miracle with Stormhammer, but Chalice staying close. He doesn't have any retaliate stacks up, but he gets the hook stop over on Miracle. Do they want to jump in a little bit deeper? The Ice Pass, once again, this one's from X-Nova, and then the chain back. Chalice, he's in way too deep once more. They bring him down. The Rack is still going to fall. Somnus taking care of that as Centaur will buy back into the game. He's walking his way forward, but Somnus caught a little bit too far around the back. He never got the cheese off. Team Liquid have still lost a lane of racks. X-Nova protects himself inside the Ghost Scepter. Weeha once more. He'll jump forward towards FY, protected by the Ghost Scepter. He actually stopped the meld attack from it connecting, but now into the trees. He gets his quick stun off, but GH has the range. He'll grab him, he'll control him, and FY will fall. It still feels like every time Team Liquid want to try and take one of these fights, they have to sacrifice such a huge amount, but they may get the big thing here. Roshan in 15 seconds.
This is a Liquid win for sure. They lost Barracks, but the amount of buybacks that have to come out from LGD here, it's more important at this stage of the game to force out these buybacks. The heroes now are way stronger than the Barracks in terms of the impact in this game, so...
This is so huge as well. This is the advantage of Templar Assassin. The trap comes up, they know that Roshan's there, and Liquid are going straight in for it. They have God Strength, as you said. They have the damage output, and this is an Aghanim Scepter upgrade. It's not a refresher.
Somnus not BKPing that Ice Path may just be his biggest mistake of the game. He could have maybe BKB'd and run it off, or maybe got out somehow with the help of his teammates, but in the end, ends up dying. And of course, Chalice's jump into the base to start it all off, maybe overextending a little bit LGD. Yes, you get the Barracks, but at this point, Aghanim's now on Rubik for free. And we see the replay here. The stun comes in. See, Chalice is just jumping, and I mean, yes, it's nice to jump on the Sven, but none of your teammates can connect. They're way too far away. He buys the time for them to get the Barracks, and now he's going to buy back and start connecting back into the fight. And this is where Somnus, you can't BKB TP out because of the meld bash that you're scared of, but this Ice Path, you have to BKB that one so that your teammates can go and help you. Not doing that, it gets blown up, and it's very easy for Liquid to run them down after that.
Just see that facial expression. It's like, guys, it's meant to be a little bit better. Miracle, maybe starting to feel a little bit more confident as well. It's like, I have some damage output. With the buybacks all being up in 5 seconds time, Liquid can feel strong. But do they want to finish the Daedalus over on Miracle? It will cost him his buyback, however. They're checking the wars, they're checking the vision. LGD's had control of this map for a very long time. Liquid, they've only just started to remember what the jungle looks like. But Weehaw with a double damage room would love an engagement. Puts the BKB in the backpack. And they smoke up. Well out of range of LGD's vision, but Chalice is waiting. Lifestealer is sitting inside of him. Arme ready to pop out. And Weehaw, how aggressive do you want to be? The TA trap, they'll see. The smoke will break. They understand the Chalice is in the tree line.
Somnus is the one guy in LGD that has buyback. If anybody gets caught, LGD wanted to be Somnus so he can come back in the fight. There's a huge life advantage for Liquid here with 4 heroes with buybacks. The only guy without it is Kuro, and that's just because of gold. He now has the completed Lotus Orb. I think that's new. If you want to say it's new.
I'll say it's new. That way I could be wrong and you could be right. I like that movement from Team Liquid. They're just trying to guess exactly where they are. So the smoke broke, but it took them a couple of seconds before they did the vac into the Ice Path combination. And GH is the man who has to go down to the bottom lane to defend it. He's actually buying boots of travel, so he's able to hold this wave back, keep it off the tier 4 towers, but then still rejoin the team, thanks to the fact the top wave and the mid wave have both been pushed in so heavily by Team Liquid.
He's going to travel top now. Liquid want to make a move.
But the creep wave's still inside the base.
Yeah, this is very telling, the fact that GH left. I'm surprised he didn't push out this one extra wave first before traveling up there, because
they're baiting.
It's not rocket science what's going on right now. It's super obvious for LGD. And
the TP has to come home. It's Weehaw who TP's home this time. He'll buy his own boots to travel just one after the other. Yo, guys, we need someone who's a better clearance than just the Rubik. But it still feels like GH is critical to the initiation of Team Liquid. It's either the VAC or it's the telekinesis.
Yep, and the stolen Ice Path, which has finally now expired for GH.
Is there anything
else he can steal that's cool this game? Stampede would be great. It's an Ag Stampede for him.
Yep. Obviously, you'd love Finger of Death with the VAC wall combination that they currently get, but that's a little harder to grab. Yeah. You'll still take the Earth Spike, because that's going to be your Ravage.
Yeah, it's decent. I still think Ice Path is the best spell to get. If he gets that, he's super happy.
Ends up stealing in a fire, like,
yeah, every spell can be useful in the right conditions, but the chance of that being useful compared to Ice Path is...
It's like watching Rubik steal Exorcism. It's like, well, I've got to stay on the front lines now. I don't think I like the scenario. So Weehaw's taking care of the bottom lane.
LGD with good wards here. They know exactly what's going on.
But because they actually lost that fight, like the Gem of True Sight's in the hands of Team Liquid, and they're getting rid of all the extra vision.
Well, they didn't find all of them. They didn't find the one at the bottom rune.
Yeah, just on the other side of the tree line. The sentry was in range. He's just got to walk around the corner to see it. Right through the backdoor regeneration. This will be the last outer tower to be removed from the map. No tier 1s, no tier 2s for either side. Of course, Liquid's got a couple of, it's got a little bit more financial damage to their home. LGD still have all their tier 3 towers up, but Liquid, they're the aggressors. As you said, counting down those buybacks from LGD. They do not want to have this fight yet. And they are not giving the opportunity to Team Liquid, but they're giving the space. So much farm. The gold swing has just rapidly increased since the 40-minute mark. It has just gone up. It has plateaued slightly, but the experience and gold advantage is belonging to Team Liquid. And they're going to take the 50-minute bounty runes as well, so this will shoot up once again.
LGD will be fighting for the next set of bounties. If nothing happens before that, they will definitely be fighting for those.
I think it's courier kill time. It's coming under the Observer Ward. It's got the Eagle Song of FY. So that's an E-Blade pickup from the Lion to go with its AoE Finger of Death. Sure.
Yep, they have no nullifiers on Liquid's side, so he can save cores now. That is a really, really important item here. When you have Lens, as Lion does right now, the cast range on this E-Blade is really significant. And that means that if Ame, for example, goes in and gets opened upon, he can just get E-bladed really quick. There's no, he doesn't have Stormhammer to spell, right? No, he has movement speed talent on Sven.
Got a Blink Dagger as well, though, for Mind Control. Welcome to your jump in.
Yep.
And the Gem of True Sight is having to be handed over. Actually, is it? No, Mind Control's holding on to it. I thought he might give it to Kuro, but Kuro's at the back lines.
Yeah, he wants to hold on to that one.
GH got infest.
Oh, is he going to swallow someone?
Oh, yeah, true. You can. Hey, Who can I take?
You can bring in the Sven into the middle of the fight and instantly die on Rubik.
Hey, he doesn't. Is that actually what they do? Because you instantly die on Rubik. But yeah, you don't have a blink dagger on this Sven, so it will be a delivery system. Here comes LGD. They come out with the smoke breaking underneath the observer ward. Now mind control. He feels good to potentially move forward, but they'll scout with the Spirit first. Charles is still ready to get his own jump out. Like, the tension in the air is palpable. LGD, they're desperate for this kind of engagement now. The buybacks, they're still not fully off cooldown, but they will be in 10 seconds time. But Charles is not getting the opportunity he's searching for. Mind control's back on the bottom lane for the moment. He doesn't have BTs to get back to the front lines. He's just got the surge. Stomp, a little bit off target. Miracle, able to grab the DD rune, and LGD, any thoughts they had of a fight just disappeared when that rune was grabbed.
Would have maybe, they would have loved to have a bottle there. I think bottling this DD could have been really useful. You're 52 minutes into the game. I think one of Liquid's cores really should have a bottle by now. Just buy it in order to store runes, grab these DDs and find a fight later. I think maybe Weehaw buying a bottle now would be great. But he's prioritizing level 2 Boots of Travel. He already has the Moon Shard, and then he's pretty much maxed out unless he wants to replace an item for a Hex or Bloodthorn.
And LGD know if they just get this win, they get a rematch against OG in the grand final. Team Liquid, they're on the edge. But if they can force a decider, maybe we actually see the history. You were saying it before, Send. Since Ti9, Ti9 is the only TI that hasn't had a Chinese team in the grand final. Still a tall ask, but Liquid will group up. They have smoke available on the Elder Titan. Double damage has worn off, and Roshan will respawn in 10 seconds time, so we just keep the action flowing.
This one has everything. It's Roche number 4.
It's a smorgasbord.
No, it's Roche number 3, right? No, it's number 4. It's number 4.
Yeah, it's number 4. We had the Aegis buff up before. That's what Rubik was able to swallow. He still probably would want to have this Aeon disc before he starts the fight, but only a 2.7k surplus. That's okay.
I think the ideal
Here comes
thing,
Somnus.
if LGD somehow get this Roche, I think you want both the Axe and the Refresher on the Centaur. That would be absolutely huge for the game for them. It will give them so much more sustain against these engagements that Liquid are taking.
This is so hilarious.
I wonder why Chalice isn't going Axe this game. It feels like a really good choice against this jump-in burst from Liquid. He could keep his core alive. But this time around, he's fancying the Shiva, of course, also a great item against these physical-based heroes. But the Axe would really be nice. Maybe he's just hoping to get it from a Roche.
It's like, I'll have this, but if we can get Roshan, it'll be better. It'll be cheaper. All right, so finally, GH. That Aeon disc is flowing out to him. Buyback surplus of 100. No one wants to lose this. Templar Assassin's going to BT herself over as well. She's going all the way back home. After she BT'd, now level 2s are up. But the pressure's being applied to the bottom lane.
And now there's the potential for GH to bait, actually, in the coming fight with this Aeon disc. If he gets jumped,
hey, he has the infest. You've got the delivery system.
I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't think that's going to happen. But he would be able to instantly, after the disc pops, he can force step away and use the cheese if he needs to maybe bait LGD out of position, maybe make them use a BKB or two, and then they can take the fight from there.
This is actually so stupid. So GH will go to the bottom lane. He's pushing the lane out with the Fade Bolt, wants to grab the 55-minute bounty runes. He's a little bit careful about going for the others. They Radiant Scanny, because the stupid thing is, for the last 5 minutes, just like the last Roshan, both teams know exactly where the other team is. I'm on my high ground, you're on your high ground. Together the two shall meet at some point, but the some point is the question mark, and hey, GH is back. It's amazing that Liquid have kept that shrine alive. Like you're down so much of your base and you still have the shrine behind Roshan.
It's actually crucial that that shrine is there. And I think it's a mistake from LGD that they haven't managed to get in and take it at some point. There must have been an opportunity at some point to get in.
LGD will smoke. They're looking to do their own wraparound. Miracle in the meantime is cleaning up the wave. I'm seeing 6.8k on this Ven, a 3.2k surplus. The wrap around behind. Observer and Sentry are there. The smoke will break instantly. Reaction. GH blinks the other side. A quick pickup over on the Husker. Gives himself a double stump, but they do not want to fight this one. Still Liquid. Roshan is still the primary objective. LGD know they were vision up on the high ground. Sven protected by the Lotus Orb. Lets them be on the front lines, but they found their target. Weeha on the other side of Roshan, instantly exploded by the finger of death with FY. It was banked up, but now the TP come forward. Somerset's too far up. He has the cheese. He has the Titanic. They just need to keep control, but the E-Blade protects him for the moment and gets him with the charge. They move themselves further away from the easy split of a Miracle. Where's your damage? Charles with another double hooks up, delivering in the life stealer. Will feed through Kuro. The Fable control. Huskar goes down as well. They're still battling underneath the shrine. Darkseer, you need a little bit more life for this, but the wall, they actually get a good couple of copies, but where is your extra attack? The Fable into Centaur. The follow-up stun is there from GH and the Ice Bar. He can just chain this control over on the Centaur. They're waiting it out as long as the sleep will last. Centaur forced up, but still inside the Ice Bar. Jakiro pick up, thrown back down again. Another two-man done. Combining with the Storm Hammer. Liquid, they're able to just continue to chain. Miracle, he needs to attack GH. It's the control off. The triple kill for Miracle. The finger is split down from FY. Maybe they get a little bit more. They won the chase. Searching forward. Arme, FY, the Ice Bar just an inch away from him, but GH wobbling himself forward. The rest of LGD, they've returned towards the fight. Now the Storm Hammer. Miracle catches two. They need to see him, however. FY, he's the primary target. The Ice Bar from GH. It controls him alive for the moment. Get rid of that pesky little demon. They move over now towards Chalice. Still on the run, but underneath the Sentry Ward. Chalice will go down. 3 heroes without buyback. Team Liquid, now they have an opportunity. They can go for Roshan. They need to clean up their home and then push down towards LGD.
And I think there was even a moment you didn't get to see on camera. FY was chasing Miracle up the high ground over the Roshan pit to the south. Miracle had 200 health. Lion goes for the blind stun up the high ground, misses, and Miracle turns and kills him from full HP with a crit.
You have an Ags upgrade over on Sven. Hand of God, that fight took so long. The Hand of God's off cooldown in 10 seconds time. Everybody get a buff. Oprah, eat your heart out.
And it's that shrine advantage. Liquid have the high ground and they have the ability to reconnect easier.
He grabbed the creep wave through the bottom lane. He's actually beating into the Liquid base. Liquid want to push. They don't want to have to be coming back right now, but he's going to start beating at the tier 4 towers with the double damage rune. He is quite a problem. Still has the BKB with the raid. Arme is trying to do the solo. He'll take the first tier 4 tower. He'll look for the second. TP's coming back. He'll raid. He'll try and TP out. He's on the way now with the BKB. He can't actually get it. He has to wait. There's your stun. Now they need the damage to go above. He fell into a creep. They can't be denied. But Liquid, they're going for the throne. They're going for the tier 4 towers. LGD, they don't have the numbers. Lifestealer, still trying to do this solo. But Weeha finishes the job. Buyback, instilling a bubble for the Lifestealer. The Ice Bar, it's good control from X-Nova. They need to actually bring this down. The Fortress, the Ancient, is finally going to die. GG is called. Liquid have done it. 59 minutes. They push back against LGD and force a deciding game for the Ti9 Grand Final slot against OG.
That was an amazing game. There's so many things to talk about in this game. I think all the way from itemization, individual plays, big decision making, I think in the end is what is going to cost LGD this game. The mistake on the enemy high ground bottom, Chalice going in too deep, the fight that they take here toward the end by not having eliminated that shrine, fighting around that area where Liquid are inherently at an advantage.
I love watching Team Liquid. They started this series in their booth, actually trying to get this crowd to chant out, "Let's go LGD," as they walk off the stage. They're like, LGD, LGD. But Team